Hi, it's the Vedic Astrology new moon forecast for December 25th, 2019. Hey, how are you feeling? The energy is decreasing. It's very dark tonight. I'm recording this on the winter solstice, just a few days before a solar eclipse on December 25th. The moon has been getting darker and darker, waning down to a sliver now, and on December 25th at 9:13 p.m. exactly, we're going to have a new moon. That will also be a solar eclipse that will go on for from about 7:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific time, so it won't be visible in the United States. It will be in Asia, in India, in fact, is going to be going through the southern states of Tamil Nadu and Kerala, it looks like. So eclipses happen every 6 months or so, and they do tend to stir things up. There's stormy times when evolution seems to speed up. Everything increases in intensity, and there can be some very surprising and unusual events that happen, or just big, huge messes as well. Now, I talked a little bit about it a couple weeks ago because I wanted to give you guys a heads up, and I wasn't sure how much I was going to be able to do over the holiday season. So you already know that this solar eclipse is especially interesting because there are a lot of planets right now lined up in sidereal Sagittarius. The Sun and the Moon will create the eclipse with Ketu, and Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter are also all there in Sagittarius. Jupiter is only a couple degrees away from this solar eclipse. He's fully combust in this eclipse. And so this definitely is an intense time, especially for people who are Sagittarius rising or who have Sagittarius prominent in their chart. Maybe they have their moon in Sagittarius, or maybe you're in a Jupiter dasha. Obviously, you may have noticed that there has been a lot of increased tensions in the last week. In the United States, there is a lot of political upheaval. Obviously, there's an impeachment underway of the president, but also there's been tensions globally that you can see really picking up in intensity in India as well as other places around the world. So it is a time right now, in the days surrounding this eclipse, the holiday season, so what a time to have it right on Christmas, to be extra patient with others, not to get into arguments, especially about religion or politics, because, well, that's what Jupiter is about, right? Jupiter is the idealist. He's the teacher, the guru, the visionary. And so there is a very big process happening right now with Jupiter. And everything aligned in his sign right now really speaks of a lot of intensity and extremism as well. So be patient and don't react in any situations around the holidays if you can, which involve these kinds of opinionated beliefs or philosophical debates. We can use this energy to look within, I think, and especially tonight. I'm recording this, like I said, on the winter solstice because I thought it would be the best time to really tap into this energy with the tarot cards especially. This new moon solar eclipse will be in the area of the sky or the lunar mansion called Mula Nakshatra. And Mula Nakshatra is a very powerful star indeed, deeply spiritual. It is on one of these cusp areas between fire and water signs. So it's right at the beginning of Sagittarius where Scorpio ends. And it actually falls in the stars of the Scorpion stinger that kind of moves across into Sagittarius' territory. So this is a part of Sagittarius that has a lot of transformative, kind of scorpionic edge to it, right? There is a deity associated with this nakshatra called Niriti. She's a kind of form of Kali, the goddess of destruction. And Nirati is an especially destructive and chaotic force of nature connected to death and surrender and loss. So Mula has an especial affinity to see what's truly important and to cut out what's not necessary. It's not a materialistic energy, actually. It's a very spiritual energy. It's found very close to the center of our galaxy, where they say a black hole is situated, right? The center of the swirling galaxy, the thing that roots us all in to this spiraling Maya that we're trapped in, you could say. But it is the root star. That's one of its names, the root star, and it's also symbolized by a tied up bunch of roots. So there is something volatile about this eclipse, obviously. There is something that can definitely uproot in this time, in the weeks to come. Something that is ready to reset, clear the field, and start over even. Ask yourself on an inner level what you would like to change. How would you like to reset your mindset, in a sense? That's what eclipses can do. And especially with Jupiter there's a possibility for a lot of spiritual regeneration, a lot of visualization for the future that can be table turning. It could be actually extremely benefic, actually, because eclipses don't necessarily have to only bring trauma and conflict and chaos, which is what they're known for, but they can also push us to grow in positive ways. So this is a time to be praying for peace and tolerance worldwide, and also asking yourself what you would really like to do differently in the year to come. Okay, so let's see what the tarot cards have to say about the solar eclipse coming up for Christmas. Okay, so the first card that came through is the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands it's very hot and heated energy, actually. And it's interesting, we also have the Eight of Wands, another one. Very fast moving. So, yeah, there is something around eclipses that can really accelerate and push us a little harder than we might normally be pushed. So just be aware of that. Especially, this card looks to me like it's almost too much. And then the Four, a very different energy altogether. The Four of Cups, which is a kind of stagnant and bored, you could even say, energy. So there is a feeling of being stuck as well. And maybe this is a feeling that you're pushing through or trying to push through. And I think it is really reflecting what I was saying about how we can use this energy to really burn out of stagnation or entanglements, or just help us see what might be possible, just to see it. And things can progress rather quickly once we have a vision. And that's what the cards, I think, are saying also with this. It's interesting. You see Mercury and Sag. Symbols up there for Mercury and Sagittarius. And Mercury is in Sagittarius for this eclipse in the sidereal system. And in fact, Mercury is crossing right over the Gandanta. It's just going to be 1 degree over the Gandanta, which is the very, very edge of Mula. Remember I said Mula comes kind of between Scorpio and Sagittarius constellation. And so, yeah, there is something very transformative and intense about the first degree there of Sagittarius, where Mercury will be during this eclipse. Mercury is travel, of course. So many of us might be traveling in these days. So do take care. But there's something more here. It's a traveling of the spirit as well. There's a speedy growth that is possible in the weeks to come. Take advantage. Look up, look around, and see your possibilities. You don't need to push against brick walls. Visualize what you want, where you want to go. Step out of fear and hesitation and procrastination and get on with what you dream to do and be. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of momentum right now. Great time to be setting those New Year's resolutions for sure. It could also be a very good time to get a reading too. I offer one-on-one Vedic Astrology and Tarot readings. You can book with me online. There's a button in the YouTube description window. If you want to book that, go ahead. Also, I'm offering a very special webinar coming up on January 5th, and it's going to include horoscopes for all 12 Vedic signs for the entire year. We're just going to run through some of the most important transits and changes in the eclipses that are going to happen in the next year, 2020, right through the end of 2020 when the elections in the United States happen as well. So I've been looking at the astrology. It's very exciting, very interesting. So if you'd like to know more about how things are going to pan out for you in 2020, go ahead, register for my class. There's also a link below to do that. And yeah, there'll be a question and answer session. It is live, so hope to see you there. And have a safe and wonderful holiday season. Take care, and I will see you soon on the next one.